Everyone. I wanted to talk about this brand new Juice WRLD album, a posthumous album, which is called Party Never Ends, which is another posthumous album from the late and great Juice WRLD. Now, as someone who sadly never got that much into him until after he had passed away, it has been incredibly downhill watching his label and the people around him releasing music that he didn't necessarily want to be released, as he was a very just off the cuff making music, and then he would pick the best out of it to make an album. That was definitely his style. And the downside is to that is now they have an entire archive of music that is either mid or some gems in there here and there, obviously, some, and then some mid, and then some just terrible songs. And after going through, I believe this is maybe the third posthumous album, which is insane to think about. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel, and that's something I really thought about in the last album, Fighting Demons, which I thought was an awful album, just mid after mid to bad to bad. There was not really a song on there that I thought had any replay value. I thought the entire album was just even more poor taste. I thought the first like posthumous album was fine, had some good gems on there, and was a good like conclusion to that. But they're really just like milking him now, and this album is in some of the worst taste I've ever seen, with the title "The Party Never Ends," which I really just associate with keeping his name relevant by just milking his name. Now that he's gone, he can't object to these songs being released, and I can see why he wouldn't have one of these songs be released, as they're atrocious, and that's no fault of him. Any of my critiques on him have nothing to do with Juice WRLD. It has everything to do with the label, because as far as I'm concerned, this is a them album, not a Juice WRLD album. Just awful. From the album cover, this ugly ass like album cover, which, can you believe, is by Takashi Murakami, the same guy who made fucking Graduation album cover and the Kids See Ghosts album cover, two of like the greatest like hip hop album covers, or just album covers in general, in my opinion. That's the same guy who made it. Like, I thought it was an imitation at first. It looks awful. Just ugly ass colors. The weird like six pack they tried giving him. Just how weirdly bent his arms are. Just his face. Just everything. The background of it is so like nauseating. And repeating the same color, so everything kind of melts and blends together and gets was like, oh, you're going psychedelic, you're at a Juice WRLD concert. I don't care. It looks fucking ugly as fuck. And then the music is the worst part of it. And I'm like, the fact that and people were like, oh, I like that they added like audio clips of Juice WRLD interacting with fans to kind of get like you're at a Juice WRLD concert. And I don't think people understand why they did that. They didn't do it because they care about Juice WRLD and know that he likes his fans, which, like, yeah, obviously he did like his fans. People had a very close relationship about it. They're doing it so that they can attach themselves to that fan base and leech more money off of them. There's no artistic expression in that. It's atrocious. The freaking song "A Party by Myself" is one of the worst songs I've heard this year, in my opinion, and we've had some bad songs this year. And then every other song on this album, I just either feel nothing for, get depressed listening to, and these are supposed to be like party songs because it's so uncomfortable to listen to. Because Oxycodone is just atrocious. Best Friend is fine, but like, would you, if, how I like to define it whenever someone's saying like trying to defend like these recent albums, you're not using any of these songs to get somebody into Juice WRLD. You're really not. And if you are horrible at trying to sell someone an artist. Lace It is boring as hell. Goodbye is just like, that's not goodbye. You're gonna make another album because he's got plenty of unreleased songs. And they're gonna keep doing it because people are just gonna keep milking the album. And I'm upset. This is not even coming from someone who's like that big of a Juice WRLD fan. Like, I'm not really that big into emo rap in general. A couple songs here and there, but I at least have enough respect for the dude as an artist and thought that he was decent enough. And just no artist in general should be subjected to this. And I know what people are going to say, because later on, I think in January, Bullinorism by Mac Miller is going to come out. People are like, oh, what about that? And what about like when they made Circles? Those were handled by his family, and or albums that were for Circles was basically like 80 or 90% done. Bullinorism has been done. It just never got released by the record label. So those are different cases, and they're being handled by the family. Rather than this fucking stupid ass record label, they're gonna market it so that they can keep this dream of Juice WRLD still being alive, make as much money off of him, and completely derail his entire legacy. As his legacy whether you like it or not, is not great anymore. If they would have just released that whatever the first eponymous album was left it, you had a pretty good resume and career in my opinion. But with these recent albums, it is completely ruining it, and this is like the lasting impact we have is that he's another sad story of a manipulation abuse by the record label. Overall, hated this album. And even if you remove the aspect of just the what this album stands for in the grand scheme of things, it's mid. It's so mid. And I don't get like these other like YouTubers and music reviewers who were like they were referencing it, but they weren't even really going that deep into how bad that is. Like it really made me upset, and I don't know. As someone who intakes a lot of music and has seen some bad stuff in music, this really is its own unique blend of trash. Like there's some trash albums. I'm not gonna say it's musically as trash as say an Ian album or any of that, but it's trash considering what it's trying to do and how it exists. For that, I'm feeling a 1 on this album. It's pretty bad. That's all I'm gonna say. Bye.